Hi, welcome back to Art by Brooke. I'm Brooke and I'm so excited that you chose to click on this video. So I've had an idea for a video series for quite a while that I have really wanted to do and share with all of you. In the past, I have taught art journaling classes, and one of the most common things that people say to me when we start the class or if I invite them to join the class is that they're not creative and they can't create art. These comments make me really sad because I think anyone can create, and this stands out to me as something that someone has probably heard at different times in their life, either from friends and family or from a teacher, or even if they've taken another art class in the past. I know from personal experience how frustrating it can be to try to create something and then not have it come out exactly the way that I wanted it to. But I've also seen the value of taking time and creating something, anything, even if it's just for me, and the impact it has on my mental health and how I'm able to approach the world and just on my personal well-being. I also know there are a lot of people out there who would like to create something but don't necessarily want to make the most polished thing or something super professional looking, or don't want to spend a lot of money on ingredients. So I wanted to make an art journal with me series that people can follow along with and use however they want in their life. I want to focus on prompts and techniques that can help you with your own personal mental health and kind of expand some of the things that you know how to do. I hope to make these videos as approachable and user-friendly as possible. So for this series, I have chosen to use a composition notebook. Now, I like these because they're pretty easy to find and they're usually very inexpensive, usually around $1, and a lot of people actually tend to have some of these just hanging around. The great thing about this series is that you can use any type of book you want. So if you have just a bunch of random notebooks hanging around, pick one that you like, and the one that you have is usually the best one to start with. And it's all going to turn out looking really cool anyway. So for this project, we are going to be creating a personal art journal. Now, an art journal is sort of self-explanatory. It is a journal of some sort, and you fill it with art. Now, that can be any type of art that you like to put in there. Most people get nervous at the title art because it sounds professional. It sounds like it has to be perfect. But actually, art is literally just an expression. It's just what you are putting out there. What I hope from this series is that there are enough different varieties of things that you can do in this journal that you'll find something you're comfortable with and then run with it. For each video, I will be giving you kind of a prompt or a new technique or a combination of both, and then you can either follow exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it, or it might spur an idea in you that you kind of want to run with on your own. I hope that whatever you choose to do, you treat this as personal time and give yourself the freedom to experiment and try different things. And try not to be too hard on yourself, because nothing really comes out exactly the way you want it to from the beginning. I've learned through art journaling that you kind of just have to use the process and be excited to see what comes out in the end. So for this first video, I thought that we could do the first page inside the notebook, because I do want to do a video on the front cover, but I think that decorating the front cover can be a little scary for your first project, especially if you're kind of uncomfortable with your artistic abilities or don't really know what you want to do, because that's usually the thing that other people can see. So by now you're probably really tired of me talking, so let's go ahead and get started on the first page. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick your notebook. And again, you can use any type of notebook that you have laying around the house, but for this project, I'm going to go ahead and use the composition notebook. And then you're going to want to pick your first utensils. I recommend something dark or black, like a pen or pencil. You also could use black markers. Now, if you have them, I would say go ahead and pick out some things that are colored. So colored pencils or markers, or you can even use highlighters if you have them. You can also do this project using only a pen or only a pencil if that's all you have. Let's go ahead and turn to the first page. Now, often if you have something that's not spiral bound, it won't stay open very well, so you can go ahead and use a binder clip to hold it open, or you can just set something heavy on that side of the book. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a pen because that's what I'm most comfortable with. and I am starting to draw all over the page. You can go ahead and use squiggles or zigzags, and you're basically just trying to fill in a bunch of shapes. Some of you may remember when you were younger using Microsoft Paint to draw lines and then fill in colors. That's kind of what we're going to be going for with this page. I used a combination of sharp lines and curved lines, but I encourage you to go ahead and do what feels right. And I recommend doing lots and lots of shapes because then you'll have smaller areas to fill in. If you leave wider gaps in between the lines, then you'll just have bigger areas to fill in with color or other markings. And just keep doing this until you feel like you kind of like what it looks like. Then start going in with your colored pencil or whatever colors you'd like to use. I'll show you later what you can do if you just want to use a pen for this step. As you can see, some of my markers were running out of ink and looking a little splotchy, but that's totally okay. The cool part about this technique is that once you're done, everything kind of comes together cohesively and looks way cooler than it did when it was in pieces. You just have to trust the process and follow through. Now, if you're using markers and you're a little worried about it bleeding through to the edge or going over the sides of the paper, you can use a scrap piece or a white piece of printer paper behind your page, and that will help and keep it from getting all over the next pages. Some people don't actually worry about that at all when they're art journaling or doing any type of creative journal, so that's totally up to you. So as you can see, I am using my black pen to make lines in some of the shapes. This is something you can do from the beginning if you don't have any colors that you want to use or you don't like using colors. Sometimes people just like the line work. Something to keep in mind about this page is you could always start it and fill in a couple of shapes and then keep the page going as you're working on other things. This is a super easy technique to do while you're in the doctor's office waiting for an appointment, or if you are waiting for a class to start, or anytime you're starting to feel a little bit anxious. I really like having a repetitive motion to do to keep my mind off of something that's stressing me out. This could also be used as a relaxing activity if you need to unwind from the day. So as you can see, once you get to the end, it all really comes together and looks super cool from a distance. It also looks really interesting when you start looking at the little pieces and kind of starting to see shapes in what you've made. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you followed along and created something that you would like to share, please post it on Instagram and let me know where I can find it. I would love to check it out and see what you worked on. You can find my Instagram account listed in the description down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below. What types of videos would you like to see in this series? And please be sure to let me know what you think about today's prompt. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.